Welcome to another episode of my podcast. I am joined by my friend Jamar Neighbors.
Which camera's mine?
Both of them. We're going to cut back and forth. This camera, that camera, this camera, that camera. Which one do you think is your favorite? Like a head-on type of camera or like a kind of side profile? Both.
Out here. What's up, Allie?
Nothing.
How you doing, Mama?
I'm good. I'm super sunburnt, I realized. I went to the bathroom right before this.
Really?
And I realized I got way too much color. That's probably why I feel so out of it.
Really? Because you sunburn?
Yeah. The sun, like, if I'm in the sun for too long, I get weak.
Really?
Yeah, I felt sick.
Oh, weak ass.
I know.
Can't even handle the sun.
I know. It's trying to kill me.
Man. Dude, if you can't handle the sun, how you going to handle anything else? These
I
are the
don't
elements
know.
of the earth.
Tell me.
You can't handle that? Can you handle water?
Water, I'm good. Me and water, we're like besties.
Can you handle the moon?
I don't know. I haven't gone there yet. You look like you'd be the first to go on the moon. If I was recruiting people to go on the moon, you'd be top pick.
I better be. Number one. Yo, can Jamar get on that Mars mission? The Jamar mission. Can we call it that?
Jamission?
All right.
Jamartian? Ooh.
Did you say I look like a Jamartian?
Jamartian. That's
she
good.
I look like a Jamartian.
How are you liking Texas?
It's great.
Yeah.
Texas is always great. Only thing I don't fuck with out here in Texas is the cedar. It's the cedar allergies. Like they got like a lot of cedar trees, so you get like the allergies and shit, and it make you feel like you got some other shit, but it's really, cedar allergies.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with that.
There was a bunch of times this year where I'm like, do I have allergies or do I have the C word? It's scary. And then I realized I went on Joe's podcast the other day, and I got one of the antibody tests, and it turns out I did have it. I had the C word. I tested negative for it. Like, I don't currently have it or anything, but at some point this year, I had it.
Because you had the antibodies.
I had the antibodies.
Oh, okay. I thought you were sitting up here with the
No,
C word.
hell no. I'm not bringing you to my C word dungeon.
I mean, I already had that shit, so I would just
When'd you
laugh
get it?
in your face.
When'd you get it?
I had it February 7th through the 14th.
Okay. Shitty Valentine's Day.
No, it was good for me.
Yeah?
You know what I'm saying? I ain't had to be around nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't owe you nothing. Nah, girl. A child, I can't be around. I can't go out to go get the gift.
Yeah, I'm in bed. I'm taking care of myself.
We're going to have to avoid this motherfucking Valentine's.
Yeah, that's
easy. They can only understand.
And then you did Rogan's podcast.
That's my dude. I love me some Rogan.
Did you get any Alpha Brain when you were there?
I sure did. I got a gang of Alpha Brain.
I know, me too. I was like,
vending machine.
Yeah.
And they fucked up by making it free.
I know. They were like, it's free. I'm like, are you sure? I was like, I just got everyone's Christmas presents.
You take a gang of pills?
Yeah, I got Shroom Tech, Alpha Brain.
I got all that shit. Whatever makes Joe functional, that's what I want.
Have you used it? Do you feel anything?
No, but it's funny because pills and shit like that, it's more so for like your long term, like in the long run.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like vitamins. Like you don't really feel vitamins working. But they're probably doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took them today and I thought that I was going to be like a rock star. Like I thought I was going to like all of a sudden have muscles and be like doing math problems. And I'm pooped.
It's not Adderall.
I know. I thought it was.
It's Alpha Brain. You know.
I need Beta Brain. I need like something for me just to kind of like stay chill but be a little bit alert.
Yeah. Are you moving out here or not?
I don't think so.
Did he try to get you to move out here?
Yeah, of course.
I was like, I said, all right, Joe, I'll move out here. And I was like, oh, man. Now every time he's going to see me, he's going to be like, did you get your ticket? And I have to lie to Joe. I don't want to have to lie to Joe.
Why don't you want to move out here?
Because I act in L.A. like I booked shit in LA, so
Yeah.
it's hard for me to, you know.
Yeah. The one thing, but I feel like everything's on Zoom now, like auditions.
Yeah, but even when I'm in LA, like the atmosphere of LA still makes me want to act. Like if I'm out here in Texas doing a Zoom audition, I feel like I'm in Texas and I'm not in the, you know.
Yeah. I was, the one thing that he said that I was like, damn, that's kind of convenient, was like, if you're flying out to do gigs or anything, Texas is so central that it's just easy to fly anywhere. That was the one thing where I was like, I never thought about that.
That's true, because the plane tickets here was like $108.
I know, it's so expensive.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's
And then
crazy.
getting hotels or Airbnbs out here, those are expensive too, because Austin's like a hot spot.
Yeah, like I'm staying in somebody's guest bedroom right now. Or
Yeah.
somebody's guest house or whatever the fuck. It's not that bad. I just feel like I'm mooching. Even though I paid for it, I feel like I'm still in somebody's shit.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Is it weird being in a shared Airbnb? Because when I was looking, I was trying to find like private homes. Those are expensive. But I always feel like I'm in the way if I'm in someone else's.
Yeah, like, well, it's not like shared, like it's like somebody owns the front house and I just stay in the back house.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's that. And the crib is nice, but I'm still like, man, I live in somebody's back house.
I live in someone's back house in LA.
You do?
Yeah.
But that's your mom and they love you.
No, it's not my mom.
Oh.
Someone else's mom, but not mine.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess. I mean, but out here it's just like, I suppose like if you're just doing the business out here and you're just doing spots and shit, it really don't matter. But I'm such like an independent person that I'm like, why isn't this house just mine's? You know,
Yeah.
like.
I know I'm staying with friends out here, and it's really nice to have a place to stay and have people who live out here, like, you know, show me around and whatever. But at the same time, I feel like, oh, I should be hanging out with them, or like, am I in my room too much, or like, am I going out too much?
Yeah, you feel like a burden, kind of, sort of.
A little bit.
Half burden, half not.
Or you don't want to feel like you're being disrespectful by like going out and like doing random shit during the day.
It's like, because you don't want to just say, I'm just using you to live here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want to give. But, you know, they know what it is. It's
Yeah.
the game, baby.
I'm going to take them out to lunch or dinner this week.
Did you get them any Alpha Brain?
I should get them an Alpha Brain.
But you know, so funny. So I ran out of the powders.
Uh-huh.
So every time
those like the things that you mix in the drink?
So I've been going out to like, every time I go to like Sprouts or something in like LA. Like, I see that shit and I just automatically get it.
Really?
I was like, oh, hey, let me get some Alpha Brain. Gotta sharpen my brain up, you know, before I go out and handle the world.
I love that Joe's marketing worked on you.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, here's the free vending machine. Now you're going to be hooked for life.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're going to be paying for it.
Oh, my Alpha Brain.
You're going to be like waiting to do his podcast again just to use the vending machine.
Goddamn right. I love free shit. Everybody knows Jamar Neighbors love free shit.
Free shit is great. Is this the mohawk you had on his pod?
I think so. Oh, yeah, it is. It's the red one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I be forgetting which one I throw on.
Did you wear it in the Uber over here? Hell yeah.
I didn't just come in here like, all right. All right. Like,
I don't know which one I like visualizing better.
which one is your favorite one?
In terms of scenarios or mohawks?
Mohawks.
I don't think I've seen them all.
Oh. Were you around when I first started wearing these?
Yeah, at the Comedy Store on stage.
Dude.
When did that come up? Did you just see a mohawk and you were like, I'm going to throw this on?
Yeah, remember I was doing that one man show?
The one, oh yeah.
And then
what was it called? Crack Baby?
No, it was called that was a character in it, but it was like it was called Definitely a Comedy Jam. And so I had like all these four. It was basically doing Def Comedy Jam or whatever, like it was a show or whatever. And one character needed something, like the host, me. Like I needed something because they were all characters, and I was like, man, I look regular. you know. And so I went to the costume store and I was looking at all these wigs and I was like, that nigga need a mohawk.
Yeah.
I was like, cause he already crazy, you know. I was like looking at myself from like a fucking. I had to like zoom out and look at myself and be like, you need a mohawk. And then when I wore it, I was like, yo, nigga, you could just rock this if you want.
Did you feel like it helped you when you were performing? Like it gave you a different energy on stage?
Absolutely. It make me like, fuck, nigga, you already look crazy. You might as well just be crazier, you know?
Yeah.
But still make sense, but be crazier.
For sure. Because I feel like so much of stand-up is, like, obviously it's jokes and whatever, but it's also, like, your stage presence, whether that's how you stand, how you look, how you dress. Like, people all take that in the first 5 seconds of you going on stage.
So, it's so fucking funny you say that, because I've been saying this shit, like, since I started comedy. I was like, man, you know, I mean, I would dress a certain way anyway. Like, I just like dressing a certain way. But I've always told my friends, I'm like, man, I'm like, it matters like what you wear. Like it matters like people are watching a thing. It's like, what are they watching? Yeah, they listening and shit. But it's like, but they're watching a thing. It's like their eyes are first.
Yeah. Because everyone judges everyone.
Yeah.
Whether it's at a restaurant and you're looking at the table next to you, you're assuming what they do for a living, you're assuming how they treat people, whatever. Everyone makes quick judgments and whatever. So when you go on stage and you're wearing like shorts and flip-flops, people are like, this dude isn't trying to do comedy, he's trying to get coke in Miami Beach.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like when I shaved my head, I was like, oh, I feel like something's different now with my style and my stand-up a little bit and my stage presence. And now being brunette, I'm like, I want to go back to blonde because that feels like more me in a way.
I wish I would have ate before I came on this podcast. I ain't shit right now.
I'm so hungry.
Shit. I'm so much more lively than this. Can we start over?
Yeah. There's Subway next door.
I'm a rhinestone cow. Do you play? I said.
No, I don't. I don't. They just put that there.
Is this how your setup usually look?
When I'm back home, it's like a couch pretty much like this. Different vibe, but same vibe at the same time.
I used to have a podcast.
What'd you do?
5 episodes of Heat.
5? Are they still out? Can people still listen to them?
Yeah, they are.
I think that's kind of sick.
And I'm like, I'm out the game.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's the way to do it. I almost have this fantasy of like once I hit a certain point, just calling it.
People will be like, you know, but shout out to motherfuckers keep that shit going. Like what Tony is on, like episode 500. I'm like 5, but I'm out.
Yeah. You did episode 5. He did 500. I feel like I'll just call it quits at some point and then start something else. Have a whole different.
Are you a jump arounder?
Not really.
Oh.
But I like to switch things up. Sometimes I get like bored with one thing. That's why I was nervous to start stand-up because I was like, everything else I've done in my life I've given up on. When the going got hard, I got out. And so I was like, I'm nervous to start stand-up because what if I just quit doing it? And so I'd say this is like the longest thing I've done.
You find out how easy this shit is, you're like, I'm doing this shit forever.
Do you think it's easy?
Hell yeah. It's so easy. You don't think this shit is easy?
No.
What's so hard about it?
I don't know. Coming up with new material, liking my material, booking hotels and flights, and I don't know. It's not that it's like hard. It's just
the in-between shit.
Yeah. It's all the other stuff that's not performing on stage.
Oh, I get that. I have been saying that shit forever. I'm like, I tell people, I'm like, oh my God, this shit is so fucking easy. You know, and then people always be like, you think this shit is easy? I'm like, yeah, what's so hard about it? You go up there, you do that, you get off, and you go home, you get up, you do it again. Then if somebody wants you out there, you pay for that, go out there, do that, go back home, say some crazy shit, leave, wear this, do this.
Are you still living at the same place in LA? Remember when I
My grandma?
No. Do you live with your grandma?
Oh, you didn't know me when I used to live with my grandma.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when I crashed at your place?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did crash in my place. I think you were like drunk. Wait. Were you drunk or homeless at this point?
I don't remember.
Did you do it twice?
I think I did it once.
No, I picked you up, though, when you were drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Wait, do you remember? Because I don't really remember. Where did you pick me up from?
Drunk.
I was at a house party.
Yeah, and you were like in the hills, but it was like Silver Lake.
It was
area.
like the Silver Lake Hills.
Yeah.
I forget whose party that was.
Yeah.
But why did I call you? Were we like talking earlier that day?
Maybe because I had already let you stay on my couch. Well, it wasn't even my couch. It was my friend's crib, but he just so happened to be out of town. And I was like, actually, yeah, and so, so I guess we had already built that little rapport like that.
Yeah.
So you just called me, and I don't know. I'll show up. Like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, if I'm not doing anything, like, I'm like, sure, I'm down for the adventure. I didn't know where you were.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, I'll go. Like, what if I want to party there?
Yeah.
What if because I'm also the type to be like, let's go back in the party.
Yeah, fuck it. You'll sleep when I'm done raging.
But you're a fucking drunk, man. How old are you now? Aren't
25.
You like, yeah, I figured you're like 25.
I think at the time I was underage then.
Nah, bitch, no, you wasn't.
Not underage. I was 20 or 19.
I'm like, no, she was not, bro.
No, nothing happened. Nothing happened. It was nice because you let me sleep in your roommate's room.
And she was of age. I don't be doing none of that.
None of that. I wouldn't have you on the pod if you were doing any of that.
Yeah, thank God. But yeah, man, I remember those days.
I know it feels like so long ago, but also at the same time, not that long ago at all.
5 years ago? Was that long ago?
It was at least 5 years ago. Maybe a little bit longer because I got sober after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like when you was drunk and out of your mind.
No. Just messy, sleeping on random people's beds.
Yeah. I mean, wow, the power of a woman.
I know. It is nice.
She could just do that.
I can just be like, pick me up, please.
And then I'll be like, okay.
Whatever you say.
We'll sleep on my roommate bed. I can touch you. Hey, it worked out. I wish I had a pussy.
It's pretty tight. Mine, specifically.
That's crazy.
According to me and me only. It's a rumor I'm trying to get started.
Is your pussy tight?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about shit like that.
Hashtag Allie's pussy's tight.
I'll be scared to get fucked. That's the only thing about having a pussy. Is like I don't want nobody to stick nothing in it.
Yeah,
I only want to play with my shit. I don't want nobody to stick nothing in it.
It's really weird down there.
I would stick shit in, but not a dick or nothing.
Did you ever fuck weird objects growing up? Because I hear guys talk about like fucking couches.
Yeah, that was me. I had a body pillow. I had the mattress, if it was soft enough. There's a certain blanket you can put it down a certain way.
Interesting.
Fold it up, and it feels just like a hole.
Yeah.
But it don't be wet. But it don't need to be wet.
That's so crazy. Well, the first time that you came, did you freak out?
No rapo.
The first time that you came, did you freak out when you saw stuff come out of your penis?
Nah, not really. I was just like, ha ha.
Yeah.
That was my reaction. Ha! I'm in this bitch.
We out here.
And I showed my auntie.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I was like, auntie, look. Because I was living with her at the time. I was like, I'm a man.
Did she raise you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Did you move around a lot?
Now you got me playing with invisible sperm. I lived with her for a while. It was my mom's little sister. Yeah, and I lived with her for a while. She raised me till about age from 5 to age 19.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you still see her? Yeah.
I go over her house.
Everyone's in LA.
I'm from LA, born and raised.
Yeah.
You are too, right?
I'm from Long Beach. Would you consider that being from LA or no?
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
People get really weird. Like people who are from like Hollywood or like the Hills or something. I'm like, oh, I'm from LA, and they're like, no, you're not.
No, they're not from LA. They're from Hollywood.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's like if you're not from LA and you're from Long Beach, then Snoop Dogg is from LA.
Yeah.
And he's as LA as they come, you know.
True. Thank you. I needed that.
Absolutely. Can you crip walk? That will determine if you are from LA.
Okay, here, can I be honest with you? Is this a safe space?
This is your space.
Okay. My sister taught me how to crip walk, but my sister is also white, so I don't know if I actually learned how to... Because I'm like, who are your sources, Brittany? Who are you hanging out with where you're learning how to crip walk the real way?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I was definitely moving my feet at some point.
Can you crip walk with your fingers?
No, I don't think so. Can you?
So you take these two fingers here.
Am I about to get, like, called out by some...
All right, now just crip walk with your fingers. Do what you would do with your feet, with your fingers. Let's see if you can crip walk.
I don't know if I can.
Make sure the camera see it. You
wait,
want to do it here?
Yeah.
Or you want to do it on your Manscaped box?
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I have
we got any
acrylic,
music?
so it's hard.
We got any music? Yeah. Boom. Wait, or do you want me to just sing a West Coast song?
Yeah, sing some West Coast shit.
Crip walk to some YG. Okay,
Oh, I love YG.
YG's a god. All right,
okay, I'm just going to be like dancing at first, you know, just kind of like.
My nigga, my nigga. Boom. My nigga.
I don't know. I feel like it was just, it's.
I see I'm a ride for my motherfucking niggas. And I die for my motherfucking niggas. I do not die with my finger on the trigger. Man, it was like crazy.
Can you do it?
Let me see. Can you sing the song?
Hold on. I said that I'm going to die for my...
You can say motherfucker.
Okay. I want to be as PG as possible. I said that I'm going to ride for my motherfucking... I'm outside all day with my... I
was getting it.
And I ain't going in messing with my...
All right.
I saw YG at a Rams game.
Oh.
At a Rams game.
Really?
He is so fine.
Oh, I was just going to say a gangster.
He's also that.
Oh, really?
It must be crazy to be a gangster, but also, like, famous.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because then it's like, not only do you have just, like, haters in the game of being famous, but you also have haters from, like, being in a gang.
Yeah, like the streets. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You had double the haters.
That is true.
And like, don't you think like people like in your fellow gang, your fellow gang members, how do you stay true to your gang while making so much money and like being super successful outside of the gang?
I think you just you grab a couple of ones who you actually trust, who you kind of like have to like adopt them, kind of sorta, and then like these are the guys from my gang who are coming with me to the top. So the people who you're not gonna choose, you know what I'm saying, be like, yeah, but he's still real though because he took Tiny Peanut with him.
Yeah,
Tiny Peanut killed somebody, right? Tiny Peanut killed somebody.
Tiny Peanut's always killing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw him also like at a low key like
Tiny Peanut
and YG. Yeah, legendary duo.
Yeah. YG and
if you see YG, Tiny Peanut is always right behind him.
I love YG, and he's so like, I don't know, he's not slept on. He's always been like how he is, kind of sort of. But and his albums, I don't know if you ever hear any of his albums, but or still buy them today, but they're all still great.
Yeah,
they're like phenomenal albums. Like, I don't know.
Do you like Vince Staples?
He's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it. The last album I have of his, Big Fish, or is that what it? What's the one with the fish?
I don't know. I just know the song Northside Long Beach.
I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Who is? Oh. Yeah. Oh, keep talking.
Will you tell me the story after this about performing at the Comedy Store late at night and having crazy people watch your set, like such as Quentin Tarantino?
Oh yeah.
Or just like other things
Big
like
Fish
that.
Theory.
Oh yes.
That was a great album.
That's the one that North is on.
I'm surprised I'm surprised Tyler don't do shit. He'll do shit with Vince, but I'm like, he don't do shit with YG. But it's like they both like. I wonder, like, are there certain West Coast niggas that don't like?
I feel like YG seems like kind of serious.
Yeah, like he wouldn't like.
And
he
Tyler's
work
goofy
with,
as hell.
Yeah, he wouldn't. But I feel like that collab would be nuts.
It would be so good.
Yeah.
Are you friends with Tyler? Acquaintances?
Yeah.
Met a couple times?
If I see him, okay. If I see him on the street and he sees me, he'll be at the like, oh shit, I knew I smelled nigga around here somewhere.
That
like
is
he always,
so. His voice.
He always greet me like that, but like so yeah, something like I mean, but he's not like we don't hang.
I feel like we ran into him together one day on Fairfax. Or like on Melrose or something.
Maybe.
I feel like I remember being with you. Maybe I ran into you by Erewhon. And then
we
I
saw
don't know.
Tyler?
I think so.
Oh.
I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, nigga, I remember one time. Okay, so one time I was in I forgot what movie. Oh, we went to go watch Deadpool.
Yeah. At ArcLight?
Mm-hmm.
ArcLight's done.
Yeah, I know. I saw that shit.
Everyone's like posting like sad stuff about it. I used to work at ArcLight. I'll help burn it down.
But, like, it's the movie theaters. How you going to shut down the movie theaters?
It's not all of them. It's just ArcLight. ArcLight was such a shitty place to work at. And I'll be honest, I loved going to movies there. I hate going to other movie theaters. ArcLight is phenomenal for watching a movie. But as a former employee, that
Oh, you did used to work at ArcLight?
Yeah.
Didn't I see? I feel like I've seen you work at ArcLight. I've seen you at all your jobs.
I know. You supported me through the hustle.
That's crazy. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I was watching Deadpool, and then I was watching it, and I was there. I had on like just a wife beater, a fucking gold chain, like a hat, and like some pants. I was dressed like really LA out.
Yeah.
And then I seen like two people in front of me or whatever. I didn't know, but. You know, I'm like really expressive no matter where. So like if I'm watching a movie, Deadpool, he'd make a lot of jokes. So like sometimes like he'll say something funny and I'd be like, right?
Yeah.
And then I see these two dudes. They keep like looking back, like you know, like who's laughing like that? You fucking get out of the movie theaters and shit like that. It's Tyler and his friend Lionel.
Yeah.
And then they look at me. They was like Lionel was like, yo. He was like, I told him, yo, it's a nigga in a wife beater and a gold chain, just laughing. And then Tyler was like, oh man, I'm about to sock this nigga. And then I was like, nah, it's me. Like, I don't know. Did that happen? No, I probably made that up. Cause I be lying sometimes.
Do you? Are you a liar?
Yeah, I made that up.
No, you didn't.
Because I wanted to be interesting. I was running out of interesting things
I like
to say.
that.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone today. Are you good at spotting lies from other people? I'm so good at telling when someone's bullshitting.
Really?
Because they say stuff and you can tell the way that they're saying it. It's like you won't even ask them a question about something and they'll be like, oh, this thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're lying. I can just tell.
Though?
I don't get it. People, it's like all an ego thing.
I actually didn't make that story. That story is true.
Yeah.
But I really did forget his Tyler's response. But I know Lionel said that. But niggas who just be lying and shit like that, I think it's funny.
It happens so much in comedy.
Yeah.
People like lie about, or they won't necessarily lie, but they'll like exaggerate things to make it sound better.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I get. There's some part of stand-up where you have to, like, you don't want to be negative all the time and spin things in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, if I'm talking about something, I'm going to try and make it positive instead of being like, I did shows and they weren't sold out. Instead of saying that, I'll be like, oh, I sold, you know, tickets and it's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But some people will go so above and beyond and, like, say the most extra shit that I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, people who be lying, stop. I had a homie, what was it? Just little shit like this, right? So when Kanye's album, when that T-Lop came out, Life of Pablo, I was like, damn, man, I got to listen to that. The homie got into the car. I said, I said, man, I got to listen to that Life of Pablo, right? He was at the like, nah, it's all right. And I was like, oh, you heard it? And then he was like, yeah, I heard it. And I was at the like, oh, okay. And I said, that's funny because it doesn't drop until midnight, right? And then he was at the like, so I still heard it.
Wait, can I make a guess of who this is?
Yes. Yep.
That's so funny. Because I was like, as soon as you said that, I'm like, I know exactly who would say that.
Because that's how he lied too.
Yes.
I heard it.
And you know what's fun about him though?
What?
He lies so much, but it's always the funnest stories that I'm like, I'd love to hear your rendition of however this went down. Because it's entertaining.
Nigga be lying about everything.
Everything.
But it's my nigga, so I just think it's all just funny. I'm just like, word.
Have you ever called him out or no?
Yeah, all the time.
And he's just like, he stands by it?
All the time.
Oh, that's great.
And then when I, sometimes I could break him. And then be at the like, and he was like, nah, man, for real, that shit ain't happen. And I'd be at the like, nigga, I don't know. He's funny as fuck though.
He is funny.
It's funny as fuck just to hear him talk. He be lying though. He was talking about how he scored like a 1,600 on the SAT and all this shit.
It's like, bitch, you didn't go to college.
What are you talking about?
Bitch, you dropped out of high school. You got a 1,600 on the GED.
Niggas just be lying, bro. Like, it's funny though when motherfuckers just be lying. Ooh, do you like talking about people behind their back?
Yeah.
Like what you doing now?
Yeah.
Well, no,
I don't.
Nah,
I'm not like. I selectively talk about people behind their back. I never try and do it maliciously, which I think is a big contradiction because talking behind someone's back is malicious.
Yeah.
But, like, sometimes I'm like this weekend, I was interacting with someone out here in Texas, and I didn't really know them, and so I was like, I'm getting a weird vibe from them, so I, like, asked one of my friends who knows them a little bit better than me, and I'm like, what's this person's deal?
Yeah.
You know? And then we kind of went off on a tangent, but I try not to do it too much, but I can be selective, because I feel like it's gotten me into too much shit. Where I'll talk about someone and then they'll find out and then I just feel awful.
Yeah, I don't like talking about them behind their back, but I do like starting it and then hearing what other people have to say about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
you want to get the intel.
Yeah, I'll start it and then I'll be like,
you're a bulldog.
Yeah, I'll watch everybody else just be fake.
Yeah.
And that's cool for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's how you feel about him.
Yeah. Do you think you're not fake?
Huh?
Do you think you're not fake?
In some ways, what's fake?
Like, say you had beef with me, like you didn't really fuck with me.
Yeah.
And I ask you to do my podcast, and you've talked shit about me behind my back, blah blah blah, and then you come do the podcast. Do you think that that's being fake, or do you think that's just being like professional and just saying yes to a comedy thing? Because I feel like people overuse the word fake.
I've done this where I'm like, okay, like, when it comes down like comedy and shit like that, like funny is funny, and if you're a funny motherfucker, like I respect funny before friendship in comedy, before friendship and any of that. So if I don't like really necessarily like fuck with you like as a person, but I respect your comedy and I have a stand up show and you are funny, I will throw you up on my show.
Yeah.
You know, but so I don't know, is that fake?
No, I don't think so.
That's what I just told you what it was.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. But yeah. So fake like that. I mean, if that's fake, then
yeah.
But I'm fucking around like with like the talking about shit about people behind their back and shit like that. Even though we kind of do it, so like we all kind of do it to a certain degree. But really, nah. I mean, I usually try to keep it like A1. Like I don't try to. It's fun to have. It's fun to like joke and shit like about people like behind their back and shit like that. But it ain't like you said, like malicious or nothing like that. Is that being fake? I don't know. Of course, I wouldn't say this shit to this person's face. It's like that's the point. Of
course, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, would you rather have me like be a bitch to someone for no reason? Like, I'd rather just like be cool with them and like, you know.
People do it to you.
For sure, 100%.
I'm like, if
that's my favorite is when you know that someone's talked shit about you and then you see them and they're all cool. You're like,
I'm like, if I was somebody else and I saw me, I would talk with there's so much to say.
Yeah. Did you read comments after you did Joe Rogan or anything?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. What were they like? They were just like...
Did you get funny ones? Because those are my favorite. When people leave funny comments, if they're like mean but funny, I'm like, I'm all for that. When they're just mean to be mean, I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah, a guy really like edited a video. He said, "Oh, Rogan's a weirdest guest or whatever." He edited like a whole video of like weird moments or whatever,
Oh,
and
that's
then
sick.
like cut in. Like I thought it was actually pretty fucking funny. And
Yeah.
dope. Somebody sent it to me, and then I commented on that dude YouTube channel. And I said, "Oh man, this is hilarious!" And then he had like a Cash App thing, and I sent him like $5, and I was like, "Here's $5 for your efforts, man. That shit was hilarious, you know." Because yeah. But other than that, though, like people, like I like the comment. I mean, I love reading the comments because like I'm a troll myself, you know. So I'm like, why? What did people say about you?
Someone said that I sound like I'm always on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so funny, and I never thought about my voice like that, and it's so true now when I hear it. I'm like, I do sound like I'm about to cry at any second.
Your Rogan dropped already?
What?
Your Rogan already dropped?
It dropped today.
Oh, okay. That's why I haven't. Okay, cool. I loved it. He's the only thing I hated about when I did that shit is that like there were certain comments where I was just sitting there like, oh, y'all niggas is like cap, because it's like, oh, he's just letting anybody on this shit now. You know, I'm like, I'm not just anybody. I'm like,
totally.
I'm like, you may not like, I'm like, just because you don't know me.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, I've been in these streets.
Totally. And like people only understand it in the context of the podcast that they know. They don't know the full context of like, you know, the relationship between you and Rogan and like your relationship between comedy and you and all of that. And so people only are like, well, I've never heard of him, so who the fuck?
Yeah, and it's like,
this
dude,
person?
I'm like, do you know that scientist that he had on the fucking show? No, you don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, should he be on the show? Yeah, he's interesting.
But to get back to my question, you being in these streets.
Oh, sorry.
How, like, what are some of your favorite moments from the Comedy Store? Because I always heard about the time that Quentin Tarantino was there and you were on stage. Because you were doing these, like, late spots, which are some of, like, the coolest spots at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, I remember that. This nigga, Gerard Broad, he was working with him. He was working with him on some shit at the time.
Wait, was he?
Yeah.
Did anything ever happen that I would know of?
I don't know if I really don't know like what he was working on with him, but I do know they were working together for a second. Hope I didn't
blow up his spot.
Yeah, but anyway, but he was bringing him around, so he brought him on a Tuesday night. And so he brought him there. He brought him there like to see me. He was like, "Oh, I went to see my friend like Jamar." So I went up on the Tuesday show in the belly room before the roast battle, and they sat up there at that little
like the private little
the Muppet judging table and shit like that. And I you know how like. I mean, we've seen each other work like so many years. So like, you know, like sometimes like I'll go up there and it almost looks like I'm like phoning it in, kind of sort of, because I'm just like working out or whatever. So it's like, oh, he's not giving his all, but da 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 da. So I think that night I turned it like all the way on or whatever, and I went up there and I was like, and I like tore that shit apart.
And you knew he was there.
He was right there. Yeah.
But did your friend tell you before him?
Right,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm bringing Quentin through."
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, bet." And went up on that Tuesday show. I fucked that shit up. And then I had a spot later on downstairs, maybe like 25 minutes later, and he brought him downstairs to watch me again in the OR for a longer set, and I fucked that shit like up, like
in a bad way.
No.
In a good way.
Like murdered that shit,
okay.
like crazy, like. And then after that, the nigga, we walked outside. He was at the I mean, I'm not in none of his movies or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, he was like, oh man, it's so fucking funny. He was like tagging some of my jokes and shit like that.
Oh my God.
And I was at the like, oh yeah. But at the same time, I was at the like, you gonna cast me in that next Slave movie? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but that was like one. Yeah, that was a great highlight.
Was everyone at the store freaking out because he was there?
Hell yeah, like. Especially because he was like talk. It's like, especially because he was like all the attention was like on me too. So it was at the like, yo, you talking to Jamar? Yeah, you talking to Jamar? And all this shit. Like, yeah, people were fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of celebrities and people like that come by, and you can tell that the vibe of the patio completely changes.
Like who like. I didn't even know this guy. I didn't even know who the fuck this guy was.
Can I take a guess?
Huh.
Robert Pattinson.
Exactly.
Wait, really? Is that who you're going to say?
Yeah, boss.
Because I remember when he came, and people, you could tell that some people knew, but I was like, Twilight, bitch.
Yeah, I didn't know who the fuck he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was with FK Twigs at the time. She was with him.
Oh. Yeah, sure. And, but yeah, I didn't even know who the fuck he was, and yeah, that's interesting. I like when I don't know who celebrities are.
It's a lot easier.
Or when they're not big to me, or when they like nobody to me. I'm like, all right, Anderson Paak. I'm like, no, he's huge. I'm just.
You're like 2 A's or 1?
Huh?
In Paak.
Oh right.
Like, how's that? How do you spell that? Where's that from? Is that Russian or something?
What about you? What's like one of your highlights? Like, oh fuck, I did that.
This one's kind of, I don't know. I feel like there's, like, the Comedy Store's this weird place where, like, so much happens that I have a hard time remembering, like, some of the cool things that go on there, because it's, like, so often, but also so far in between. But I remember one time I ran into my friends from high school, just, like, completely randomly. They happened to be there. And I think I was working at the time, so I had my little uniform on, my T-shirt. And I see my friends, and I'm like, oh, what are you guys doing? Like, this is so cool. And they were like, oh, we're here to see Tom Segura. And I'm like, oh, he's the best. He's so funny. And then all of a sudden, Tom, like, walks from the parking lot, and he sees me, and he, like, fist bumps me. And I've only met him maybe once at this point. And so I was taken aback.
Yeah.
And my friends were taken aback, and I was like, oh, this just made me, like, valid as fuck.
Did he call you? Did he say your name?
Yeah.
Allie!
Yeah. Like, I didn't even, like, address him. He initiated it, and I was just like, I look so cool right now.
You know what's so fucking funny about shit like that? Like, because we run into, like, these guys, like, all the fucking time, right? And so we always have, like, interactions with them, and, like, and then I go home to like I talk to my cousins about like what's going on and stuff like that, and like my family or whatever, and don't do that, because like they don't, like, to us, if I'll be at the, like, oh man, I was doing a set and Chappelle fucking interrupted my shit, and then you probably be like, oh man, why he do that or some shit like that. But I'm talking to my cousins, it's like, this nigga just said Dave Chappelle, and I was like, yeah man, you know, what's up with that, you know, like, or like. But like little shit like that, like,
or like a really cool thing will happen where you're like, oh, I'm about to feature for this person.
Yeah.
And then your family's like, who?
Yeah.
How much are you getting paid?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not getting paid anything, but like, it's so cool. And they're like, you need to get paid. And I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah. Yep. It's so fucking funny, man. They be like, I don't know. I don't know. When do you think the Comedy Store is coming back?
I don't know. Well, they said that everything in LA is opening up June 15th.
Is everything? Are they gonna make people perform in that window?
I hope
not. Pay people.
I hope
like,
not
for doing that shit.
Well, I think now they realize. I mean, I hope that like the clubs realize now that there's so many outdoor shows that are good, and so many random shows at different venues are good. And they pay a lot more, and they're going to realize if they want good comics to perform at their club, they're going to have to pay them more than $15 a spot.
Open that shit the fuck up. It's like if the seller can do 25%, then the Comedy Store can do 25%.
Yeah, but they have glass, like the plexiglass between each seat.
I just talked to, which is so gay,
Mark Norman.
Yeah. And he was like, Seinfeld popped in at Gotham, and they tried to put him in back of the plexiglass, and Seinfeld was like, well, I'm not gonna go up in front of this, and so they just moved it. Like,
That's so funny.
what a fucking boss.
I know. What do you think would happen if one of us tried to do that? They'd be like, all right, we'll get someone
to the stage,
else.
Brian Simpson. I'm like, bye, Jamal.
Damn.
So fucking funny.
Who are some of the people that you started stand-up with that you're still really close with? Like people who you were hitting like those first open mics.
Started.
Because the thing with comedy is a lot of people stop doing it or they kind of change and you stop really like being friends with them.
Okay, so I know Josh Myers.
Yeah. You guys were hitting mics together?
Oh yeah. Gerard, Willie Hunter.
Yeah.
Like that I started with, like, here's also the thing, is like my squad, it's like that, I call that like my class, like my comedy class. Yeah. But truth be told, like I was doing comedy probably like 3 years before I even found my class and shit. But him, Rail Battle.
Yeah.
Nate Hurt. Yeah, people like that, Jeremiah. But I wouldn't even say like we do the wave, but they're like not. It's not necessarily my class. We just like how do you do like what do you mean like by a class? It's like.
No, I think it's the same. Where it's like you didn't necessarily start at the same time, but it's the people who are with you.
Like, okay.
No matter when you started, it's like the people who are kind of there from the beginning, whether they were a year or two before or whatever.
Right. Yeah, but like the first 4 or 5 people I know.
Do you think if more of your friends were moving out here that you would move? Because I feel like for me, none of my like close friends or...
Probably, because then I get really bored in LA and then be like, you know, half the fun is just going over to niggas' houses because I can.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, well, everybody's out here, so da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Comedy is happening out here for sure.
It's
like shows are happening in LA, but comedy is happening in Austin.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's such a great way of putting it. Because it's like I'm doing shows in LA, but they just feel... They don't have the energy, and they don't feel like I'm really working on something.
Yeah. And it's like I don't feel like productive. And then some of those motherfucking shows, they be acting like they're too good to put me on a show, like sometimes and shit. I'm like, it's me, you know. Not that I'm like any, but I'm at the like compared to some of the people they put on that motherfucker. I'll be at the like, nigga, if you don't throw me on this goddamn show. But like, so I mean, that's the only reason why I'd be at the like, I would consider like, oh, maybe I need to go out to Austin, like. Cause I be doing the same shit in LA, and out here it's so dope, man. Cause they like actually respect you out here too, you know. Like they respect us in LA, but like out here it's like even if I walk down the street and they be like Jamar or some shit like that, I'm like, oh, that's fly. I like that, you know. That's cool. Just how do I don't feel like transferring all my mail out here and all my information out here. That's the real reason I want to move out here.
I know moving to a different state seems like a lot of work.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, but I mean, yeah, so but Austin is fucking dope. Like,
it's really fun.
I'm definitely going to come out here in May. I got some shows in LA that I'm excited about though. Like, so I gotta go do those.
Do you want to plug any shows? Or your Instagram or anything?
Oh yeah, at Jamar _Neighbors, and my Twitter is Jamar Malachi MALACHI. I got a show on the 16th in Orange County. Opening for Jeff Ross. I'm featuring for Jeff Ross. I got some other shows and shit. Probably. But, you know, hey, I'm around here. I'll post, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This podcast is pretty much the equivalent of Joe Rogan. So just get ready for lots of people coming out, being like, I saw you on Allie's podcast, had to come see you.
Hilariosity.
How
was your Rogan experience?
It was...
this one, because you did it twice.
Yeah, this was my second time.
Did you like your first one or your second one?
I liked my first one. I haven't listened to the second one, and I don't think I will, because I think I sounded pretty dumb. I mean, I always sound kind of dumb some of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that smart, so when he starts talking about, like, political stuff or... I don't know, my brain just...
It's not that... It's so funny, because it's not that, like... It's not that we're like dumb and shit like that. It's like, man, I don't be thinking about that, you know.
Yeah.
like he was talking to me about the stocks and all this shit and how like the GameStop thing, and I was up to like, man, I don't know.
I know. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm
just happy to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like, the first hour was probably good. The last hour was probably good. The middle hour, you can just skip through it. But it's interesting, too, because now that it's on Spotify, it doesn't have that immediate, like, YouTube comment section and, like, numbers to see how many people viewed it. So it feels... it doesn't feel as overwhelming this time. I think the first time was very overwhelming. Like, checking my phone. Like, right now, I literally have one text message. That's it.
Really?
Last time I did it, I had so many texts. I think people are also sick of seeing me, maybe. My friends are like, okay, great.
Really?
But
Man.
It was fun.
Yeah, it is. Like, and it's still the... Did he change his background?
You were in the red studio or the old studio?
The one that looks like a toaster?
Yeah, you were in... Okay, so now they're back into a different studio that looks a lot like the original.
The neon, like, where he got, like, neon
where he
lights
got,
and
yeah,
shit.
and it's, like, all wood and whatever.
Oh, fuck, so now I gotta do it again.
You gotta do it again. Get a new backdrop.
Isn't that kind of cool, though, to be like, man, Kanye sat in this seat right here.
I know. Well, I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, Post Malone, Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, and me, yeah. That was like the coolest thing. I'm like, damn, I've been in the same room as these fools.
Yep. They was here yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
It's crazy.
I don't know. Well, tonight I'm gonna be at the Vulcan at 10 o'clock.
We're both gonna be there, and we're both gonna be at another show at the Native Hostel.
Yeah, and that's oh yeah, I should go right now.
Should we leave?
Fuck this podcast. I'm done.
Bye. Thank you for coming on, Jamar.